very apt, especially as the youths are the driving forces of the nation. He stressed on the need to tap on the creativity of Nigerian youths, exploring and investing in human capital development that has continued to open new frontiers for Nigerian youth.
While Dio Israel was speaking, Cyril and I felt that perhaps the definition of youth in Nigeria should involve myself and Cyril, irrespective of age, so that way we can borrow some of Dio Israel's energy. But more than anything else, Dio has spoken about intergenerational relationship and getting youth included and giving them a seat on the table. And if they do not get a seat on the table, they will make their own seat with a carpenter and bring their chair to the table. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dio Israel. Excellencies, the chairman of the Presidential Transition Council, and who is also the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, like I said at the beginning of the proceedings today, has led a stellar cast to deliver the inauguration activities, spending sleepless nights and staying awake to ensure that they deliver an incredible set of activities. For this particular activity, His Excellency, the SGF, has given responsibility to B.E. Jediagba, who is Chair, Permanent Secretary, and also Solicitor General, to hold the position of Chairman of the subcommittee of this inauguration lecture. And for her and members of her team, and for the SGF, let's hear a resounding Abuja round of applause. Excellencies, the inauguration keynote speaker, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, describes Pres.Muhammad Buhari as his brother. And the relationship between East Africa and West Africa is a long, long relationship for which I have benefited immensely. As he visits us this period, he must try those things that are close and a little bit different from ugali and chapati, sukuma wiki, and also modakoi. Your Excellency, Nigeria just holds the Guinness Book of Records with a young lady named Hilda Bassi for the longest cooking time for a cookathon. Her name, Hilda Bassi, and our jollof rice continues to be one of the finest in the world. And as we heard from one of our speakers, food can indeed become an economic resource and can become a business. Africa's food is indeed one of the best in the world, and we must promote it across board. It is delightful to be here this morning, and for all of us who are here in the room, we are making history. It is time, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to invite to the podium the Special Advisor to the President, Policy and Coordination, Dr. Habiba Lawal, to deliver a vote of thanks ahead of all the other speeches. Dr. Lawal, let's encourage her as she makes her way to the podium.
Your Excellency, Pres.Muhammad Buhari, Your Excellency, the Vice President-elect, Senator Kashim Shettima, Your Excellency, the former President of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, Your Excellencies, please permit me to align with the already established protocol. On behalf of the Presidential Transition Council, I stand before you today to express our heartfelt gratitude as we bring this all-important lecture to a close. We are deeply humbled and honored by the overwhelming support and active participation from every one of you. we would like to extend our sincere appreciation to our esteemed guest speaker, former President of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, for gracing us with his presence and delivering an enlightening keynote address on deepening democracy for development. Your wisdom, insight, and experiences have provided us with invaluable perspectives on national unity and the role of democracy in advancement. Your presence here today serves as a testament to the strong bonds of friendship and collaboration between our two nations. Our deepest gratitude also goes to His Eminence, Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, Sultan of Sokoto, and the most revered Dr. Martin Hassan Kuka, Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Sokoto, for sharing their profound thoughts on religious tolerance and inclusiveness. Your words have reminded us of the importance of embracing diversity, fostering religious harmony, and building a society that values and respects the rights and beliefs of its people. We would also like to express our appreciation to Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, President of the African Development Bank, and Amina J. Mohammed, Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, for their insightful discussions on strengthening the Nigerian economy in the Tinubu years and security and development, respectively. Your expertise and contributions have shed light on the critical areas that underpin our nation's progress and prosperity. We are truly grateful for your commitment to Africa's development and your dedication to supporting Nigeria's growth. A special note of thanks goes to Dio Israel, National Youth Leader of the All Progressive Congress, for his enlightening presentation on youth inclusiveness in governance. Your passion for active participation of the younger generation in governance and their engagement is undoubtedly a great contribution to the evolution of our nation. We thank you. To the amazing organizing committee, volunteers, and other support staff, your enduring commitment and tireless effort has been the driving force behind this seamless, momentous lecture. Your dedication and organizational skills have been truly commendable. Thank you for your relentless hard work. We would also like to thank our esteemed guests, distinguished personalities, excellencies, scholars, and representatives from different sectors, members of the media, who actively and continue to echo our mandate. We thank you for coming. To the Secretary of the Government, to the Government of the Federation, my immediate boss Mustafa CFR, I say thank you for your exceptional leadership, meticulous planning, and commitment to excellence. Indeed, your strategic insights and attention to detail have played a pivotal role in shaping the philosophy and objective of this lecture. To the President-elect and the Vice President-elect, as you stand on the precipice of assuming the highest office in the land, you have been chosen to be the voice of the people, the guardian of their hopes and aspirations, and the catalyst for positive change. The decisions you make will reverberate far beyond your term in office. I have no doubt that your leadership will be of positive transformation to leave behind a nation that is stronger, more united, and more prosperous. Lastly, and on behalf of the entire, the Transition Council, I would like to express our deepest gratitude to His Excellency President Muhammad Buhari for your unwavering, invaluable support and commitment to the whole transition process. Your Excellency, your vision, dynamic leadership, and dedication to fostering a democratic culture that values inclusivity and unity have laid the foundation for this remarkable gathering. We are truly honored to serve under your leadership and grateful for the opportunities you have created for sustainable national development. In conclusion, let us carry the spirit of this inauguration lecture with us as we leave this venue. May we continue to embrace the values of unity and democratic consolidation, Let us strive to bridge the divisions in our society, promote dialogue and collective responsibility, and work towards a future where every Nigerian feels valued, respected, and included in our nation's development trajectory. I thank you all for your kind attention, and may God bless our nation. Thank you.
Your Excellencies, Dr. Habiba Lawal, Special Advisor to the President, Policy and Coordination, and in her words, the President-elect, the Vice President-elect have been chosen to be the voice of the people. It is our hope that every Nigerian feels valued and respected and included in development. Let's hear another round of applause for Dr. Habiba Lawal. And on that note, Your Excellencies, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for me to invite to the podium the man who sits as Vice President-elect, and he would be making his remarks in that position. His Excellency Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima.
Your Excellency, President Muhammad Buhari, GCFR, Your Excellency, former President Uhuru, Kenyatta, the Deputy Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives, the maverick politicians, the Turakin Kepi, the National Chairman of the APC, and members of the NWC of the party, His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, my Lord Bishop Hassan Matthew Kuka, the President of the ADB, Dr. Akinwumi Adeshina, the Ooni of Ife, and my young brother, Dayo Israel, members of the National Assembly present here, our service chiefs, our other foremost traditional rulers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I begin by thanking President Muhammadu Buhari. Ali bin Abi Talib said, "Power does not change a man, it reveals a man." In 8 years of stewardship, you were subjected to the most scurrilous of attacks. You are demonized. You are dehumanized. You are even robbed of your humanity. You are called the brain of Sudan. But never for a single moment did you harass or use any extrajudicial means to extract vengeance. About a year ago, the nation was at the brink of an implosion. There was acute agitation for a power shift. For the first time in the contemporary history of Nigeria, I dare to be contradicted by anybody. For the first time, a sitting president provided the enabling environment for the conduct of a just and fair primaries in his political party. That was how President-elect Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu emerged as the flag bearer of the APC. And as H.S. Aga said, the truth that sets men free is most often the truth that men prepare not to hear. The digital anarchists can say whatever they want, but the truth is that President Muhammadu Buhari conducted the fairest and just election in the contemporary history of this nation. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Your actions are so loud that I do not hear what you say." Beyond the famous handshake or Raila Odinga. On March 26, 2021, at the burial of late President John Magufuli of Tanzania at the Jamhuri Stadium in Dodoma, Tanzania, the then President Uhuru Kenyatta was eulogizing late President John Magufuli. At about 12:52 to 12:55 p.m., there was a call to prayer and adhan from a nearby mosque. President Uhuru Kenyatta paused as a mark of respect to the Muslim faithful. After the call of prayer, he said, Poleni wafeni mendili kwa kusema. Let me continue with my speech. And the dramatic pause was welcomed with raucous applause by all our attendees. Mayo Angelo said, I have come to learn that people may forget what you said. People may forget what you did, but people may never forget what you have made them feel. He made me feel proud as an African. He made me proud as someone who believes in the progress and unity of the African nation. The Sultan of Sokoto spends a greater time of his time crisscrossing the length and breadth of this nation, fostering unity and diversity for our great nation. And my very good friend, Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka, like Gani Pawahimi, is not a man of in-between. He's the gadfly, the infant terrible. You either love him passionately or hate him intensely. When he attended the interreligious conference at the Vatican along with the 14th Emir of Kano, Muhammad Sanusi II, Cesar Aleta, a Spanish telecoms giant mogul, offered $1 billion to the Catholic Church. The Catholic pontiff is a Jesuit priest who believes passionately in education. He advised Cesar Aleta to invest that fund in education in the developing world. And Bishop Kuka and the 14th Emir invited him to come to northern Nigeria. That was how the Proputoro experience started unveiling here in Nigeria. And lo and behold, the religious merchants went to town that Bishop Kuka is trying to Christianize the North. I came out and defended him. And there was a payback time about 8 years down the line. When I emerged as the vice presidential candidate of the APC, people expected him to come out firing on all cylinders. They never knew of my relationship with Matthew Kuka. He chose the path of the golden mean and said, look, Nigerians, you all have to write. You all have the right to vote for the candidates of your choice, but we don't have to demonize any person. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I began my boss's speech by thanking our esteemed keynote speaker, His Excellency, Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta, for his remarkable address. As a leader of a great and proud African nation, you have personally managed the crucial yet often difficult interplay between democracy and development. We were all cultivated and listened with unbroken attention to your portrayal of the political, economic, and social forces that describe the arena of national governance. Like you, I am an African. I love our continent dearly. If I were asked 100 times to choose my own birthplace, then 100 times over I will choose to be an African and a Nigerian. I am proud to belong to this lineage and to be of this place. My heart beats proudly to see how my fellow Nigerians and Africans are creating their own democratic, political cultures and institutions to fit the conditions and challenges of their societies. The essence of democracy emerges dialogue, justice, and fair play. That it is more than a form of government. It is a way of life a distinctive manner of thought and conduct for a leader. As such, it challenges each leader to be his better self, and this can be difficult at times, but remains indispensable to the steady functioning of democracy. Democracy is a benign paradox. It guarantees freedom, yet its survival is dependent on the responsible and limited use of that freedom. In the long run, it is the best form of government because it allows the majority to have its way while safeguarding the fundamental interests of the minority. It is forever a work in progress, a road that never ends, yet one that grows finer and less wearisome the more you walk it. I hold precious our democracy, not as a tidy abstraction, but as a pragmatic vessel that can take this nation to safer harbor in all aspects of our collective existence. Through the lenses of our national experience, I can see the scales balancing the merits of democracy against those other forms of government. I can see plainly that an imperfect democracy is better than the most perfect dictatorship. It is more just, more humane, and even more productive. We have emerged from one of the most fiercely contested elections in the annals of humanity, and the resounding echoes of the promises we have made serve as a haunting reminder that failure is a luxury we cannot afford. We are surrounded. We are surrounded by the expectations of our citizens, the skepticism of our opponents, and the chain of chaotic events that necessitate the proper functioning of democracy. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I stand on this elevated ground, what I behold are not mere individuals. I see a visual manifestation of the expectations placed upon us in this hall. The allure of this system of governance lies not in the ostentation of authority. What distinguishes democracy is the recognition that power is not ours to claim. We, adorned in flowing robes and fancy suits, are but servants, duty-bound to never underestimate the true proprietors of this power. We are here to serve. We are here to listen. We are here to be held accountable. We are not saints on an evangelical mission. Therefore, like every mortal, we may stumble here and there. However, none of these mistakes will be intentional. We shall never be oblivious to the impermanence of this power. And we acknowledge that we shall be judged by man, time, and God. No doubt, our hearts swell with gratitude. No doubt, assuming the mantle of leadership in these troubled times warrant deep reflections. We shall undoubtedly honor and celebrate this opportunity. Yet I implore you, let the strains of our jubilation be hushed, for now is not the time to revel in the enchantment of triumph. Instead, let us come together in solemn unity and recognize the realities that afflict our nation. As Winston Churchill said, truth is so precious that it has to be surrounded by a bodyguard of lies. In politics, a lot of lies are being traded on as the truth. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I was a child of necessity. There is no any Islamization agenda. Bola Tinubu, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a Muslim who is married to a Christian. Not only a Christian, but a pastor of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. Someone who has not Islamized his family. People are alluding that he has the intention to Islamize the nation. The likes of Bishop Bukka, I want to commend them for giving testimony to the truth. When I was the governor of Borno State, Borno is 90% Muslim. Churches were destroyed by the Boko Haram insurgents in southern Borno. When I expressed my desire to rebuild those churches, I was advised against it. It's tantamount to political harikiri for you to embark on such a venture. But I told the people that the Christians in Borno are stakeholders in the Nigeria project. They are my brothers and sisters. I went ahead and rebuilt those churches. And politics is about perception, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. As we begin the formation of a new administration, I deliberately picked an Igbo man, a Catholic, to be my chief security officer. Stand up for recognition, please. For the purpose of inclusivity and togetherness, again, I deliberately picked a Northern Christian to be my ADC. So the so-called founder of Boko Haram is going to be protected by... Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I know that the odyssey that lies ahead shall test our mettle, patience, and resilience. It shall also demand sacrifice and unyielding resolve. But we shall confront uncomfortable truths. The observations by Dr. Akinwumi Adesina are poignant. And I want to differ from the perspective of my junior brother, Dayo Israel. There won't be a Tinubu Shettima administration. There is an outgoing Buhari administration. There will be a Tinubu administration. As Spyro Agnew said, I had all vices, including the office of the vice president. A vice president is as powerful as his loyalty to his principal. I don't want to be presumptuous and make loud pronouncements, but definitely the issues highlighted about the fuel subsidy removal, about the realignment of the exchange rates, multiple exchange rates, will certainly be addressed by President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So I stand here, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, imbued with a profound conviction that in unity, we are going to move a mountain. I implore on all Nigerians to give us the benefit of the doubt, to invest your trust and confidence in the Tinubu project, to believe in the Nigeria project. In spite of the division that permeated our politics in the last 2023 presidential elections, the most Christian of northern states is Benue. Benue is 90% Christian, but the Nigerian candidate defeated the religious candidate in Benue state. We won 2 of the 3 Senate seats. We won 10 out of the 11 House of Representatives seats, and we won the governorship seat in Benue state. The most northern of northern states is Sokoto. The Nigerian candidate lost to the regional candidate by a mere fraction in Sokoto. We won 2 Senate seats in Sokoto, and we won the gubernatorial race in Sokoto. So finally, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, what binds us together supersedes whatever that divides us. Thank you so much, and may God bless us all.
Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima, GCON. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, just a couple of notifications. Just to bring to your notice quickly that after the morning's events, that is after the President has spoken, there'll be a photo shoot, and it will be in 2 batches. Let me just quickly acquaint you with that. That's after his speech. The president will be in a photo shoot with the vice president-elect, with President Uhuru Kenyatta, and 4 of the 5 contributors who spoke here today. They'll be in a photo shoot, and then for the second part of it, they will be joined by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the Head of Service, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, the APC National Chairman, and the APC National Secretary. That's for the photo shoot. May I also bring to your notice that after his speech, the President would be stepping in to take a look at the inauguration exhibition of Nigerian arts and crafts at the Executive Hall. He will declare that open. And once he has done that and taken his leave, other guests are encouraged to also go into the Executive Hall after the President has done with the business of declaring it open, to also have a look at the exhibition of Nigerian arts and crafts. That's at the Executive Hall. And now, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to now deliver his address, may I invite His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
That's official one here. Yeah. Please sit down. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Your Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, former President of the Republic of Kenya, Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, the governors present here, members of the National Assembly, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, honorable ministers, Deputy Secretary General, United Nations President, President Africa Development Bank, Chairman and principal members of All Progressive Congress, Chief of the Staff and the Service Chiefs, our royal fathers, ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the close of this important inauguration lecture, I stand before you with profound sense of pride and gratitude. Today, we have embarked on a journey of introspection, enlightenment, and collective growth. We have delved deep into the theme of deepening democracy for development and explored the lessons that will guide us as we transition to a new era. Throughout this lecture, we have recognized the challenges and divisions that have tested the very fabric of our nation. We have confronted the harsh realities of inequality, the persistence of corruption, and the imperative to empower all citizens. But more importantly, we have unearthed the transformative power of democracy and the immense potential it holds for our great nation. In the course of this lecture, we have learned that democracy is not merely a system of governance. It is a way of life. It requires active participation, inclusivity, and relentless pursuit of justice and fairness. We have understood that true democracy thrives when the voices of all citizens are heard, valued, and represented, regardless of their background or social status. The underlying philosophy of this lecture has been rooted in the belief that our nation's progress rests on the pillars of unity, inclusivity, and shared responsibility. We have acknowledged that the task of nation building is a collective one, transcending political affiliations and personal interests. It is a commitment to leaving no Nigerian behind, ensuring that every citizen feels the positive impact of good governance and enjoys the dividends of democracy. The lessons we have learned here are not mere intellectual exercises, but a call to action. As I prepare to hand over the reins of governance to the President-elect on the 29th of May, I am filled with a renewed sense of hope, hinged on the capacity of my successor, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to deliver on the assignment given to him by Nigerians. I am at the same time reminded of the immense responsibilities entrusted upon us as leaders and the tremendous potentials that lies within our great nation. We must heed the lessons of this lecture and translate them into concrete actions. We must continue to prioritize the welfare and well-being of our citizens, providing them with quality education, accessible health care, and sustainable livelihoods. We must fight against corruption in all its forms, unfolding the principles of transparency, accountability, and the rule of law. But above all, we must remain united. Our diversity is our strength, and it is through dialogue, understanding, and respect we can overcome our differences and forge a common path towards progress. Let us foster an environment where every Nigerian has an equal opportunity to thrive, regardless of their background, ethnicity, religion, or social status. As I conclude, I want to express my deep appreciation to the esteemed speakers, most especially our keynote speaker, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, for once again accepting my invitation to share his wealth of knowledge with us. Indeed, your thought-provoking lecture and the perspective shared by the panel of eminent Nigerians has left an indelible mark on our collective consciousness. I thank the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and members of his team for a job well done. To the President-elect, I offer my heartfelt congratulations and assurance of my unwavering support. I trust that you will lead our nation with integrity, vision, and a deep commitment to the ideals of democracy and national development. Let us remember that the true measure of our success lies not in the titles we hold or the positions we occupy, but on the positive impact we make on the lives of our fellow citizens. Together, let us march forward, guided by the lessons learned from this lecture, and build a Nigeria that is prosperous, inclusive, and anchored on the principles of democracy. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The President will now be joined The President will be joined in a photograph right now by the Vice President-elect, President Uhuru Kenyatta, and the 5 contributors. His Eminence Muhammad Saad Abubakar, Sultan of Sokoto, Dr. Matthew Hassan Kuka, Dr. Akinwumi Adeshina, and Mr. Dayo Israel. The next photograph will the SGF, the head of service, the deputy speaker, the APC national chairman, and the national secretary of the APC will join them for the next session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. The national anthem. May we rise for the national anthem. Thank you.
We have come to the end of the 2023 presidential inauguration lecture. It has been an insightful one where a lot of speakers have given their different perspectives on ways to broaden the scope in deepening Nigeria's democratic process. And as we await May 29th for the 7th democratic transition of power, on behalf of the entire broadcast crew, we want to thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for staying with the Nigerian Television Authority. I'm Ruth Aguela.